How's it going, guys? Lead meteorologist John Choquette here with our daily 12 p.m. hail forecast on this kind of dreary Tuesday afternoon across Oklahoma City. For those of you who read my little description, yeah, Dallas isn't getting hail today, so if you're coming in just to ask that question, yeah, that kind of sums it up pretty quick here. But we'll get more into the forecast in just a second. There's other areas of Texas that are at risk. Make sure those notifications are set up as I do every day. Go to your notification options on your desktop computer or on your laptop or even just on the website on your phone. And bring up this lovely notification settings here and go to push notifications, your emails, your desktop computer. If you guys watch every day, you've heard this spiel a million different times. Just making sure it's set up for the newcomers here. And go to your notification settings, select what cities you like to get notified for, states, and or all states and whatnot. And they're push notifications, so make sure you don't miss them. It's pretty easy to have them sneak by every once in a while, so just try to be aware. I know I get a ton of notifications on my phone, so just make sure you have them set up and you can have them show up on your phone. Anyway, so this is what we have for our forecast today. Unfortunately, if you're in the Dallas area, you see it's been rainy and chilly this afternoon or this morning, and that bodes bad news. It looks like the system has moved just far enough off to the south and to the east to pretty much take the Metroplex out of play for today. So anywhere up further north, Oklahoma City, it's in the 40s and raining, so you're not really getting much out of that. This whole area, I have this weird little thing jutting out in central Texas, mainly because there's a lot of rain going on. There's not going to be any storms there. However, here in the orange area to the south and to the east of Dallas, this is Austin, Texas right here, San Antonio, Waco, all those areas, you guys are just kind of cloudy in the 70s, some instability, so I think some storms will probably form. Expect to start after 1 p.m. I think that's just kind of a general, I know some showers going on right now. There's that chance that one of them could kind of bubble up. I think the main threat will be after about 3 or 4 p.m. in this area in here, and it'll be isolated storms trying to form up that go scattered, and then kind of like how yesterday was, just in a different area. So you pretty much have to hope for a storm to form pretty much on top of Austin or on top of Waco, or some storms forming just to the west of San Antonio. I think that might be a little more scattered, a little more isolated in the San Antonio area, so there is that chance that there could be something there. I'm saying up to golf ball size hail possible with any of those storms, mainly due to the fact of how messy they are, how kind of short-lived these storms are. Again, this system is going to be very slow to move out and is not producing the greatest of a setup, so that's why we kind of just have to work with what we got here, and we can kind of see, all it takes is one little weather accident, so to speak, and you can get a pretty good storm. So that's what we're looking at for this. This should wind down probably later this evening, around 10 o'clock or so. This area back further to the west, in West Texas here, to Odessa area, Lubbock, and possibly even Abilene. Some storms are going to form this evening, probably after about 5 o'clock Central Time, or I'm not sure where the mountain time cutoff is around here, but about 5 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock Mountain Time. I think a couple storms are going to form, and these will probably be supercells that live for a while. Of course, out in West Texas, there isn't a whole lot. I think that's where the best storms are going to be for the day. Probably could see possibly even some hail upwards over 2 inches with any of the strongest storms in here. I give a 10% chance for Midland, Odessa area, Lubbock, and Abilene, respectively, both about 2%. I think this might be primarily over a bunch of farmland and oil rigs, so those chances are not the greatest. Again, Odessa and Midland, getting those places to be hit is a little harder. Small dot on a very large, barren of population area. So that's what we're looking at for today. Nothing crazy. You just kind of have to do some hail dances and hope you get a storm to form like on top of Austin or right by San Antonio or even further north by Waco. Other areas, Tyler, Texas, Longview, etc. All this in eastern Texas, you could see some storms as well. Pretty much anywhere where it is south and east of where the line of rain is right now is your best bet at seeing any sort of storms going on. And sorry about that, we're getting some stuff delivered right now, and that's what we're expecting for today. Now looking ahead to tomorrow, this system pushes a little further to the south, and this puts other parts of Texas in play for tomorrow afternoon. This is our preliminary forecast here. So everywhere from all the way down to the Mexico-Texas border in McAllen, or by Laredo, Eagle Pass, San Antonio. And there is just to the north of Houston, like College Station, for example, or even far northern sections of the Houston area, I could see some halfway decent storms. And what the models are kind of showing, they're showing a little bit more isolated storms, a little bit better instability. So we'll just have to see how that plays out today. But if it does look the way it is right now for tomorrow, we could actually see some halfway decent storms tomorrow afternoon. So we'll be watching that very carefully. Again, for the San Antonio area, for the borderland towns, and places close to Houston. So we're watching that for Wednesday. And now moving forward, just one more day here. Area concern we have pretty much same as what it was if you watched yesterday for Thursday across parts of Mississippi into Alabama. So that is what we're looking at for the next few days. You guys want me to look at the computer models, I can take the moment to look at that. But otherwise, that is what our forecast is. Not a whole lot has changed. Things are just very slow to move. This is going to be pretty much how we end up with March. We were expecting before this storm to be a little more, let's just say, active for large hail, and this is more of a heavy rain producer. Things kind of happen like that. You know, large scale, the system was there, but in the smaller scales, things are not as favorable as we get towards the Eastern weekend. And then after that, things are really muddled and questionable for April. Some signs are pointing to very quiet, which is a little bit concerning. And other signs are pointing more towards a more normal April. So again, we're just kind of I'm waiting and seeing how things play out the next couple of through this system moves by, and then that first week of April I think will be fairly quiet. There might be a risk or two in there, and then we'll see how things pan out after that. So let's see. Let's look on here. Got a whole bunch of stuff. Probably uneventful day. All the Dallas roofers left to be in College Station. Yeah, I'm not surprised that they went to College Station. It was a decent storm. San Antonio this evening. It is possible this evening, and you have another chance tomorrow. Let's see. Come on, Austin or San Antonio or Alaska. Gold Rush. 10% is what Mom says maybe. It's like when Mom says maybe, it means no. That's funny. That looks like Houston has been out of the target. I missed it. Did you say anything about that? Kyle for Houston. Not today, maybe tomorrow. We're looking ahead at Houston area. I'm afraid that the system might move so slow that Houston is not even in play tomorrow. So that's the big question mark for that. Any for Arkansas today? If it was, it'd be like right up in here, the Texarkana area, and then lots of, I think there's a lot of forested regions in there. About Austin. Talking about Austin for today, this evening, maybe a storm or two. Again, it's really going to come down if you paid attention to weather yesterday. They went up and dropped a bunch of hail and then kind of died off quick. So the big question is, will we get those storms to form like on top of the city? If it can happen very close to Austin and form and go into Austin, then yeah, we could get some hail. But if not, then you're going to be watching it off to your north, off to your east, or wherever, and have it not affect anybody, which it can be very frustrating on a weather and a roofing standpoint of just watching these good storms elsewhere. Okay, sounds like April is the month for DFW. Ask Barrett. Yes, that is pretty much it. I pretty much got to write off the rest with this system that's slowly working its way through this week, and this is the last week of March. Kind of got to write off March at this point for the Dallas area. Again, kind of a slow start here in the Southern Plains. It's what we were expecting. I was expecting a little more activity in the second half of March here. Things started right when I thought they were, and then things, it's the weather. Some wild stuff happens. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. So that's what we're looking at right now. Otherwise, I can take a second and I can show you guys what the models look like. I know you guys kind of like when I show that. So I'll jump into that real quick here. Let's not show our Facebook page like that. Let's see. We'll just look at the HRRR real quick. Pop on the regional here, South Central. Just give me 1 second. I'll show this one right here. So this is what we're looking at for today. Again, kind of a little bit of a mess. See a lot of rain already here in the Dallas area, and that kind of kills our chances. But we're watching. Oh, wait, this is the wrong run. This run is not out far enough to really see everything for today. So anyway, you see we're watching any of these little storms trying to form out ahead of everything up in here. We're watching that. That's what I'm pretty much watching for storms today. And then San Antonio, your chances, this is a lot later this evening. This is after 9, 10 o'clock tonight. You can see San Antonio, I think, is this county right here, if I'm not mistaken. And it shows these storms probably a little bit more potent, a little bit more numerous, and kind of going into the overnight hours. And then further back to the west, this is what we're looking at for here, the Midland area, Midland, Odessa area. These storms probably all pack a little bit of a punch as well. And that's what we're looking at for today. And then you can just see this is going into the overnight hours, all this heavy flooding rain. And the big question will be, where does this all end up? Where does this kind of stop tomorrow morning? I know this morning it stopped right by Dallas. If it stops closer to Houston, it gives Houston a better chance. If it stops, further by San Antonio, then it gives San Antonio another chance tomorrow. So again, this is a day-by-day situation. We're just kind of waiting and watching and seeing where everything kind of lines up that next day. That's why things have been a little vaguer this week, because it really comes down to just watching and seeing what happens. And sometimes the models kind of overdo it or they underdo it for where all the rain ends up, where all the boundary layers end up. So that's what makes this forecast this week kind of frustrating. A little, again, day by day. Just have to watch us every single day to get those updates in here. But I think Dallas, you're done for the rest of this week, and now it's just kind of focusing on central and southern Texas. So, all right. Weather geeks, do you think we'll be in business in June, or do you think we need to shut down roofing in the DFW area? We need to stop the rain and start the hail. Yes. I know a lot of you guys in the Dallas area. I was talking about this with one of our clients, one of our buddies here, who he calls all the time, and he was talking about how past couple of years there's been a big storm in the Dallas area in mid-March, a couple of years in a row now. 2016 happened on St. Patrick's Day, and then happened again like a week later. 2017 we had storms happen somewhere towards the end of March, I want to say. I don't remember exactly when it was. And then there was another one like in the first week of April. So they've been really spoiled the past 2 years of very early, impactful hailstorms. And typically it can start as early as in March, like how it's been, but it can last all the way towards the end of May. May 25th or 4th, 2011 was a good hailstorm that happened for you guys. June 12th, 2012 was a very good hailstorm, and that was very late, unusually late for the Dallas area. So I wouldn't panic yet just because we're going to get to the end of March and there's no big storms in the Dallas area. It's pretty normal. April is typically your busiest month if you just look on averages. And so, again, it's possible all the way through the end of May. So just because there isn't a storm that starts off the year real early for you doesn't exactly mean that we're getting no hail, no reason to panic yet. This is the weather. And this winter has been very stubborn to leave, so it's made March be a little slower across most of the country other than in the southeast. So that's pretty much my 2 cents on it all. Don't panic yet, guys. It's still March. I know everyone gets excited. This is the time of year everyone gets really antsy. It happens on our end as well. We want big storms to happen, obviously, and get you guys working as early as possible and everything, but we don't control the weather as much as you guys want us to. We just kind of report on how things are likely going to happen. So anyway, that's what we're looking at for today. And yes, Houston is in fact in a dry spell. You guys haven't had a storm in a couple of years, so again, I think it's still very possible Houston can go all the way to like the beginning of May as well. Texas is one of the few states where your chances for hail is a very wide range of dates, so it makes it so there's no reason to panic. Not yet. And with that little sentiment there, I think I'm going to wrap stuff up, guys. Again, tune in every single day. We have a forecast video every day at noon here on our Facebook page and on our YouTube account, on the app, on our Live Weather Center, on our website. Same video, different sources. But if you're watching us on Facebook and you haven't followed our posts yet, or you haven't liked our page, first time checking us out, click that follow button, click on see first. If you like what you see and you want to see more, it'll pop up right at the top of your news feed every single day for any posts that we do. Our forecast, again, every day at noon, so this will pop up, and live continuing coverage, that'll always pop at the top. Any new maps that are available, that'll pop at the top, and then any other interesting posts that we do from time to time on our Hail Trace page all pop up at the top of your newsfeed. If you miss our push notifications for our forecasts or whatever the reason may be, you can see us here at the top of your newsfeed as long as you click on see first on the follow button. And any other questions about Hail Trace, about our products, about what we do and everything, give us a call, 855-334-4245, or email us, info@hailtrace.com, Or I know a very popular way people have been getting in contact with us has been visiting our website, hailtrace.com, and clicking on the little intercom icon, which is in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. It's a blue circle with a speech bubble on it. Click on that. You can type in your requests or questions or whatever you may have to talk to us directly on a little online chat thing that's on intercom on our website on hailtrace.com. And you can get all the details you need and any sort of questions answered by us as quickly as possible. We try to make it so it's easy for you guys to get in contact with us. And if you're watching this not live, you're watching this after the fact, you can feel free to put comments or questions in the comment section below, and we will try to answer them just in the comment section as this day wears on. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow at noon, or if we get lucky, we can see a couple storms later on this afternoon, and we'll be doing live continuing coverage for that. But if not, tomorrow at noon here on Facebook or wherever you're watching us from, I'm lead meteorologist John Choquette for Hail Trace. Have a great rest of your Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday.